Greetings. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. Thank you for having us again today. And my main man, Mr. Gregory Mannarino, is on with us today. How is it going? Again, I pay homage to the market guru.
No. I do that to you. And thank you for having me back. I'm glad to be here. Uh, really. So let's have some fun. Let's do
Hey,
it.
hey, man, what has been happening in the markets in the in the last 7 to 10 days? Man, you got to elaborate on all of this madness.
Well, I mean, I would imagine you're talking about brokerages that have run wild. Is that what you're talking? Maybe we should title this "Brokerages Run Wild" here. Well, look, what do we know? Never before, really, ever in history, have we witnessed a more twisted freak show than we have today when it comes to this market. It's out of control. And anybody who even follows this, even this much, realizes that this is what's going on. However, it just got worse. It just got much worse here. So we have brokerages who are, in my opinion, literally aiding and abetting a crime in progress here. They're not allowing retail investors, people like me, to get involved in particular assets solely for one reason, because they want the big money players to benefit. It's always the same story. It'll never change. I mean, no one should be surprised about this, that we have a rigged market in favor of the big money. It's always going to be that way. It's never going to stop. But, look, to me, this was revolting to the point where I actually got so fed up, I dumped my own broker. I was with TD Ameritrade. I fired them. I literally closed my account, pulled my cash out, and actually I just opened up a brand new account with another broker. That's what I'm urging people to do. If you're with a broker that is restricting your trades, that is not allowing you to participate in what is supposed to be a level playing field, fire them. Get rid of them. We don't need them. Unfortunately, look, I think they were probably ready for this because Robinhood, who really started this whole thing with the GME, they're already, I don't even know if this is actually true, but they're already saying, oh, we've made $2.4 billion since this whole thing started with, our traders here. I think it's garbage. And again, this just gives us a more clear sign that this is truly beyond belief. The rigging of the market in favor of the big money, the regular guy, the regular girl out on the street getting squashed, kicked, punched, beaten, and everything else you can think about here. But the bigger picture is, I know I'm running off at the mouth, but let me just say this. We are in the midst of seeing a slave society be created, a huge government, okay, that is going to take care of people from cradle to grave. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people want this. They want this huge government to take care of them, to take care of their food, to take care of their shelter. Again, we've seen this before in history, and it never ends well. I don't particularly like to see what we're seeing right now, but this has been a move in the making for a very, very long time. It's just more in our face today. And the market, like we're seeing, this is just typical of, I think, the big government merging with corporate agendas here, favoring the big money. It's always the same story. And unfortunately, it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
I know I'm a part of your email people, and I know that I got one from you, and it was talking about how some of the people are not even some of the traders are not allowing people to access their accounts. Their trades are being restricted, increased margin requirements. And what is this all about?
Well, it's a horror show going back to that. I mean, this is happening. I get people write to me all the time, and people like, I can't access my account, Greg. What am I going to do? I'm like, I don't know. I write back to some of them, and I would call the brokerage. What do you mean you can't get access to your account? Some people are telling me they're trying to pull their cash out, but the brokers are saying no, they're not allowing them to pull their cash. I mean, this is unbelievable what we're seeing here. I had no problem doing it, but people are telling me they are having a problem pulling their cash out of their accounts. I don't know what's behind that here. Yes, people are having margin requirements increased on them, all kinds of stuff. Again, it's not a level playing field. They're trying to rig the game further like it already wasn't enough. in favor of the big money. I mean, just for example, let's talk about the game. This was a sick game that Robinhood played. Robinhood stock was going ballistic, as we all, not Robinhood, GME stock was going ballistic, as we all know. Then all of a sudden, Robinhood says, "Okay, everyone, well, you can sell what you have, but you're not allowed to buy." So what happened? Stock cratered. Then all of a sudden, they changed their mind. Stock goes back up. This is on Friday when people were being locked out of their accounts, only being allowed to sell. So who bought? This was the institutional investors. This was the hedge funds. It's so rigged. They're doing it in favor of the hedge funds, and it's in our face. It's in our face.
Well,
What else can I tell you?
Well, what is it leading to? I know I want to go back to something you said about how they want to control you from the cradle to the grave.
Oh,
And and you're saying that a lot of us want that, but haven't they conditioned the minds of the people to that by having them, stringing them along with the bailouts and stringing them along with promises of this and promises of that?
you, my friend, are a rare person. You have your eyes open. You see what's going on here. This is exactly what they set up here with this whole shutting down of the global economy, making people as desperate as they possibly can, causing small businesses to collapse. Meanwhile, corporations are stronger than they have ever been. Stock market close to all-time record highs, record bonuses for Wall Street executives, people losing their jobs here. It's all by design. Nothing is by accident. And it's allowing the central bank here to finish what they started in 1913, the Federal Reserve, to be the lender and buyer of last resort. Absolutely. It's all about creating a slave society dependent on their government, extreme haves and extreme have-nots. Middle class is going away. We really have no middle class anymore. Either you are on the, you're doing really well right now, or you're getting squashed. There's nobody left in the middle. Again, by design, just like you outlined. It's all about control. Everything we're seeing right now is about control. And I really believe what I'm about to tell you, that we're just in the opening salvos. This is about to get much, much worse. The propaganda, the look here, the don't look here. It's all the same distractions. And again, they're creating very desperate people who will be more than willing to go to their government for help because they have no choice. It's very sad. They're taking away choice for control, and people are in such dire shape. I mean, where I live, for example, homelessness is exploding in my neighborhood. You can barely go by a major intersection where there aren't people with signs out, I need help, please help me, anything will help. It's heartbreaking to see. Right behind my house, I don't know if I told you this the last time I was on, there's a big open field. I can see it from my second floor. And there was like a Hooverville out there. There were tents popping up. There were people, there were families up there. The city came in, they kicked them all out. There are overpasses here in parts of Las Vegas. There's hundreds of people living underneath the overpasses. I mean, we're in a depression. There's no doubt about it, but we're being told, oh, everything is looking good. Our economy is getting stronger. It's total. We haven't even bottomed out. We're not even close. We're not even close to bottoming out. The Congressional Budget Office today said, oh, we're going to be doing great. 2021. No, it's propaganda. Okay. Again, I don't know what they're trying to confuse people. Hey, look, manufacturing today falling off of a cliff. Imagine my shock. Inflation kicking higher. You can't make this stuff up. You can't do it. But, people like yourself, people like me, I would imagine the people that follow our work are able to see through it. They go, okay, you know what? I recognize garbage or bullshit when I hear it or see it. It's not that hard to understand what's actually going on and how people are being mind twisted into believing that what they're seeing with their own eyes is not real. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. Speaking of the homeless, it's everywhere. Here in Pensacola, Florida, it's everywhere. You cannot go to a store or grocery store where it's not panhandlers out there at the doors of the grocery stores, along the bridges, the interstate. They're trying to hide the homelessness now. And I travel a lot for my other business, the Health Blaze. We do a lot of healthy products for people. And so I go through I'm in Florida. I go through Alabama. I go through Mississippi, and I go down in Louisiana, especially in LaPlace and New Orleans. And as far as the eye can see, under the bridges, there are tent cities, encampments. But not only is that affecting you in a certain way, but it's also affecting your money when it comes to your property because it lowers your property value also.
That's true. There's no doubt about it. It does do that. But my heart breaks for these people.
Me too. Me
You
too.
know, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I only did this one time. I volunteered at our local homeless shelter here. I was serving food and I was picking up garbage. I would say that every person watching this should volunteer. Just do it for one day. It will change your life. It is the most humbling experience in that you can ever possibly imagine. How people are being forced to live, and they're being forced to live this way. This is a grand deception that we are in the middle of right now. And again, this is all by design. Nothing here is by accident. Nothing, zero. And they're continuing to keep people in a paralyzed state by keeping fear at the forefront of their mind. Okay, if you look at the headlines here, it's all, oh, there's a new variant. It's getting worse. It's more contagious. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be getting better. People have been getting vaccinated. Things are supposed to be turning around. But no, they got to keep that fear factor as high as possible. By doing that, it cuts off the person's ability to think and to function. They become into almost a state of learned helplessness. They feel helpless. They feel defeated. They fall into a state of apathy. Anger, fear. It's a crazy thing. This is a psyop as well. What people need to understand is the mainstream media right now, it's a psyop, all of it. And like, thank God for shows like yours. I would like to say the same for mine. People honestly know the truth when they hear it. And I'm hoping people are going to turn all that stuff up, the divide and conquer, the divisiveness, hate these people. No, you got to hate these people back. This is how they win. This is how they have won since the beginning of time. You need to hate that person because of that reason. And you need to hate these people because of that reason. No, we are all a global family. And I cover this all the time. If we could all get on that same page and understand that we are not each other's enemies, they are the enemies. The ones that are trying to convince us that what we're seeing, oh, no, you're not really seeing that. That's not real. It's crazy. Oh God, it gets under my skin. Yeah. But that I a couple of weeks ago, I was getting to the point where I really was going to stop doing this for a month because it was really getting under my skin. But I'm like, I can't do that. I promised my people that I'll always be here for them. And so I had 3 days off, maybe a little help from Jack Daniels. And, maybe I was able to calm down a little bit, but it's really the truth. It's really the truth.
Yeah. I understand the frustration. Sometimes you're like, I just need a break from it. But going back to what you were saying, like my kids and I, on the way from martial arts training or whatever, we would see all of these homeless people. So one day we just got fed up. It was like a big field. We just went to Walmart and we bought up all of the camping equipment, all of it. And we just took them because the temperatures were dropping. We just took them all food, and we took them tents and sleeping bags and stuff. And I think everyone should do that because you never know your position. You see where you are right now, but you never know how you can be affected, or a loved one could be affected, especially when they're implementing these type of policies. Now, on something else you said, that they are implementing a fear psyop on the people. This is true. You cannot go anywhere without something of that. I need this mask. I need to do this. It's getting worse. It's this. And even when you hold conversations with people, you will see that they've been watching CNBC or MSNBC or Fox News or CNN, and they have been
hypnotized. Brainwashed. They're freaking hypnotized, and they can't stop. What I want people to do, I mean, honestly, just see how they feel if they turn off the news for even a week. 1 week, no TV. Just don't listen to it. People's anxiety level will drop. Their fear level will drop. Their mind will become clear. They'll be able to think. You see, people are bombarding themselves with all the sensationalism, all the hype behind it, and they don't know what to do. They don't know who to believe. I tell people, look, You're born with a God-given intellect. Listen to it. What is your mind telling you? Don't listen to these so-called authority figures that are out there and telling you, no, because they're like, they're merchants of freaking chaos, these people. And they want people to stay in that, terrified, paralyzed fear state. I mean, just this morning, I'm sitting here, I'm eating my breakfast and I'm watching the TV and the commercials are coming on and this and that. And I'm like, if I were just beamed here from another planet, I would want to get off like now. Get me off. What's going on here is completely insane. But again, they're literally trying to poison people's minds every way they can. Okay. And there's no hope. You sit there and you listen to these shows and it's like, okay, everything's getting worse. You're going to die. Get ready. And again, what is it doing? It's creating zombies, people who have been zombified, unable to function, and they're literally now moving to the next phase, which is willing slaves to this new world order government. And I've been saying this all the time. I sincerely believe that we now have this hideous merger of corporate America. I mean, look, where is the proof of it? Corporations today are doing better than they ever have. Like I told you, the stock market is almost at record highs here. Yeah, sure, we've had a little corrective phase here. I don't think there's anything going on. Wall Street just got their biggest Christmas bonuses ever in history. Meanwhile, U.S. small businesses are all but gone. We lost like over 60% of them so far. People are unemployed. People in my own neighborhood here have no work. They're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, if the government decides to take away what they're giving me now, I'm dead. I'm in the street. I'm going to end up like these homeless people living under the overpass. It's, but it's the truth. And they're being poisoned. Their minds are being stolen away from them in a literal sense. And they're being literally made into zombies. Turn off the mainstream media. Stop listening to it for 1 week. You'll come out of it going, I'm never going back to that again. I hope people listen. They probably won't, because they're addicted. People get addicted to, I guess it gives them an adrenaline rush. Some people like to be in that depressed state, whatever it might be. Me, no. I wake up every day and I say to myself, okay, this is going to be a great day. I know what they're trying to do to us all, but it's going to be a good day. We're going to make the best of it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure our way through this. Where are the opportunities? Because opportunities are everywhere. And it doesn't have to be just in the financial markets, because I talk about everything from the financial market standpoint, but maybe like, I don't know, go garden, go do some gardening, go dig a hole somewhere, take a dog for a walk, go for a walk yourself, go admire nature. I don't know, go look at a beautiful tree, or go look at the birds, or go look at the snow maybe outside your house, go have a snowball fight with your neighbors. I don't know, something along those kind of lines here to change the whole perspective from negative to being more positive, because I think people, they're losing it. I really do. People are social creatures, meaning they want to get out. They want to interact with each other. But we're not being allowed to do that. And again, that's taking its toll on people. And it's driving them into a very dark place. Again, that state of paralysis, that state of willing slavery. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Well, what do you, this is a two-part question. Where do you think this is going? I'm talking about in the near future. And also, what do you have to say about the Biden administration $1.9 trillion plan, which is almost exactly plus or minus a few $1 billion what Trump offered and they slammed him for?
Well, all about the money situation here. They're gonna hang that carrot in front of people's face. Oh, it's coming. Here comes your stimulus. No, not now. Again, this creates that feeling of anxiety, depression, making people desperate. I got to have that money. I got to have it. I got to pay my rent. I got to buy food. I got to do this. I got to do that. And also the mechanism of